Hi guys, Bolt here. New divisions have been added to WARNO, but before we get to that, I just want to thank all of the patrons of the channel and the latest patron of this channel, the Quiet Kid, with the massive patronage. You thought I was going somewhere else, didn't you? But anyways, let's go into the new battle group. So the 8th Infantry is the newest one, together with the 79th. So we're going to dive into the 8th and just go into create, and then we'll kind of have like a, a player point of view on things. So let's start with the logistics. We got the M35, 800 liters, available already in the 3rd, so we don't really stick around too much with this guy. But we do have an armored supply as well, the M113, with 800 liters supplies. We have the Hemmet, which was already available to us with 2500. If you want airborne supplies, we also have the Black Hawk here. Now in terms of commands, we have just a UAZ for 100 points, we have the M577 for 100 points as well, and we have the helicopter, the Black Hawk command vehicle as well. So all of these were already available in the 3rd and are now also available in the 8th. So let's move over to the infantry tab, and don't click on the Heimatschützen, it has been crashing me every time I click on it for some reason. So let's just stick to this. We got military police already available before, so 4 of these assault rifles and the M60. All in all, not a good unit, but probably good enough to use to kind of like bump up your lines on the front. So you can use them as a support infantry, but I would definitely not rely on these guys to do fighting. We also have military police with the M67s, and these could actually be good. So these have the recoilless anti-tank rifle, 15 AP on that. They also fire things that can, they fire rounds that can also be fired at infantry because they also have an HE value. Now, there's 2 things in the accuracy tab. One is for when these guys are static, so when they are not moving. The other is when they are in motion. Does it actually give like a highlight? Yeah. So basically this indicates the ammunition's chance to hit when stationary, and this is when the unit is moving. So do pay attention to that. That actually changes quite a bit. So try to like attack move if you want that accuracy, or just keep moving and fire on the move if you just want to get out of there. Now besides that, we have engineers, so command engineers, 110 points there, 5 assault rifles, not bad, not horrible. We got regular engineers, these were already in the game, but the main difference is we don't really have a lot of Bradleys. We have no Bradleys, for that matter. We have the W50, so a truck, and we have the M113 with a 50 on it. Now the engineers are assault squads, it is a 10-man team with good stealth, and they carry explosives that they can use against infantry, which is just wonderful. We also have these engineers that fire the incendiary rockets, 5-man team once again, and we have engineers with the Dragon 2. And all of these units are only available with the W50 and the M113. Now the Heimatschützen, whenever I click on it, it crashes, so I'm not going to do that, unfortunately. Now we have the arrow rifles once again. We have 8 of these, or 10-man teams, with 8 M16s, 2 M60s, and they have the M72 Law. Now, remember, you can actually sell vehicles to transport, so after you land these units, I recommend selling the Black Hawks, because they are 75 points. That is insane. We got Jägerführer, so we got German command infantry. They carry the Carl Gustav M2, which is a really nice introduction of this weapon. 19 AP on that bad boy. We have regular Jaeger with the Panzerfaust 44, 15 pen. Not amazing range, but still pretty good, 700 meters. And the accuracy is not too bad either. Now you can only get these guys on trains, and only in this truck here. They carry the G3, which is a battle rifle, and they carry the MG3, which you all probably know already. Just a wonderful LMG. Alright, let's see what else we have. We have the American Mechanized Rifles, the command unit, or leader unit. 8 assault rifles, 1 M60 and M72 Laws. 9-man teams, so it's pretty good. Now in terms of vehicles, we do have a little bit more. We have the Iltis, we have the M113 with a 50, and we have the M113A3 with a 50 and the Dragon 2 ATGM on top. Then we have the mechanized rifles with the Laws, and kind of the same type of vehicle setup, this truck or the M113A3 with the 50 cal and the Dragon 2 on top there. So we have the Law version, which carries the Law, and then we have the regular mechanized rifles, who carry the Dragon 2 ATGM with 18 AP. Now if you go for Elite, that accuracy goes up quite substantially, and the same goes for all of these weapons here as well, and the rate of fire actually increases too. And you would think, how does the rate of fire increase? Well, better training means faster reloading, or, you know, more controlled fire so that you don't overheat the barrel, that kind of stuff. So in the artillery tab, we have 2 mortars. We have the 81mm, and we have the 107mm, so 107mm. And as you can see, the 107 has better range, better HE, better suppression. The rate of fire goes down only a tiny amount. So it is actually worth going for the 107mm mortar. But the 81 is quite cheap, 35 points only, and you get more of them. Then we have the M109 and the M10A1 finally. This thing is a monster. Look at that. It's obviously going to be quite weak. It is, you know, it doesn't move fast, to say the least. So do watch out with these. Now, in terms of differences, the M10 or the M1 10A2 is obviously much stronger. 24 kilometers range, you know, more than 3 HE, 134 suppression. Rate of fire is the same as the 155mm. That is interesting. But I am definitely looking forward to using this. 280 points though, so it's really expensive. Then we have the MLRS, the M270 MLRS, which was already in the game, but this guy fires 24 HE rockets. Now in the tank section, we actually have some really nice new tanks. We have the M60A3, not the best tank, to say the least, but really cheap, 95 points for 10 front armor, 5 side, 2 rear, and 2 top. And that is a really good thing, because now you have a cheap tank that you can use to support your infantry with. Now, in terms of range, not too bad either, just over 2 kilometers. And the stats here are actually not too bad either, so 75% accuracy goes up to 90 when you go elite. But the motion accuracy does not change. The rate of fire goes up to 14. So you could really use this as, you know, an ambush tank or just a good fire support tank. You also have this guy in the command variant with a really cool paint on it. Now we have the trusty old CEV, which was already in the game, and I do like the Top Gun decal there. Basically an assault gun, really good at stunning infantry and actually also armored vehicles. Then we have some ATGM vehicles, and this was also already in the game, as you can see. But this guy fires the Aito with 20 AP at 2650 meters range and 75% accuracy, whereas the M109, M109A3 basically has just a much better loadout and stats in general. The range is the same, but the penetration is 25, which is insane. Now in terms of accuracy, you can get this guy all the way up to 105% accuracy, which you might think makes no sense. But, you know, the range to a unit, the size of the enemy unit, the stealth and that kind of stuff will decrease that to a realistic percentage, I believe. I think that's how it works at least. Alright. Excuse me boys, I'm quite tired, but we got the M1 Abrams, the command version, but also just a regular MBT version, and in terms of stats, they're actually different. So we have the regular, and we have the command side by side here. So the command has 17 front, 7 side, versus the regular Abrams, which has 15 front and 6 side. The gun is exactly the same, but it's just more armored. But you do get the nice M1 Abrams you can use for fire support or just, you know, killing armored transports and that kind of stuff. Then we also have the M1A1 Abrams, and this is your heaviest tank with 17 front and 7 side. So basically the same stats as the command, but now also with a better gun. 19 AP, 2300 meters range. If you go for elite, basically 100% accuracy when it's standing still, and about 60 if it's moving, and 14 rounds per minute, which is nuts. In the recon tab, we have quite a few units that are already familiar to us. So we have the regular scout teams, 4-man strength, with very good optics and stealth, 3 of these M16s and an M60. Just in general a good unit, and they come in the M113 Dragon. Then we have the Rangers, and these are new to us. These guys carry the AT4, 19 AP, which is really, really nice. In terms of vehicles, we get them in either Blackhawks, which is cool, or just regular trucks. 2 M249s and 4 M4 carbines. Really, really decent loadout. I would say these guys are good at medium range or against armor, not really at close range with these assault rifles. Then we got the M1 51A2, also unique to this division or battle group. Exceptional optics, which is quite impressive. Mediocre stealth, which is a good way to balance it because this thing is tiny. And it has a 50 on it, just in case. Then we got the M113A3, basically just loaded with weapons, M240, the 50 cal, and the M67 recoilless gun. Good optics, mediocre stealth, but it is armored. Then we have the M150, which carries toes, which is really cool for a recon unit to have. And at highest veterancy, it goes up to 75% accuracy. Optics is good, stealth is mediocre. So in terms of recon, we actually have really good units. Now speaking of, we also have some German recon here. These guys carry the G3 battle rifle, the MG3, and the Panzerfaust 44 with 15 pen. Exceptional optics and stealth for an 11-man recon team. It's kind of nuts. Then we have the trusty OH-58C Scout, which is already in the game. And we have the Hellfire version with 26 AP, and you can nicely see the model differences here with the radar on top. Really cool. Now in the AA tab, we got Red Eyes, and I do not think anyone is ever going to use these guys, because compared to the Stinger Cs that are in the game, it is basically the same, but oh my god, that accuracy decrease is insane, dude. That is crazy. So this is both at trained, the comparison that is. Whereas the Stinger Cs have a 70% accuracy, this drops down to 35 for the Red Eyes. And the HE actually drops by 2 as well, and the suppression drops by 80, which is insane. So the Stingers, if you go for highest vet, it basically maxes out. The Red Eyes, you can't get higher training, and this might, I don't know if this is like something that they haven't adjusted yet. You should be able to get higher training. Maybe that's just a temporary bug for now. We got Chaparrals and PVADs, which were already in the game, so 3 kilometers range on helis and 28 on aircraft, and the same is for the PVADs, which has a decreased range on helis of 2825, but it also fires at ground units, and I do like using PVADs because they just stun infantry as well really quickly. Last but not least, we have the OH-58C with 4 Stingers. Now in the helicopter tab, it's quite bare. We have a Cobra with rockets, so this is a close air support one, and has a 20mm Gatling, mediocre optics and bad stealth. But then if you want something a little bit better, you also have the same version, but with toes, with eye toes, with 20 AP value. Now in terms of overall stats here, it's actually literally the same. You just get toes as well on top, for more than double the price, so you know, do think about it. In the air tab, we do have some new things. We have the Alpha Jet, which is a German airplane, and this is limited to this division or battle group. It drops 2 Mark 82 bombs. Decent range. I do not know how these planes will act in-game, so we'll have to test them out. And they have 2 Sidewinders as well. The speed is quite slow, quite a low speed, 700 kilometers per hour, so these will probably get intercepted quite easily. No, we'll have to see. No ECM basically on these as well. We also have the Napalm version with a 1-ton payload, 2 of these Mark 77s. Once again, no ECM on these. Look at that. We have a Raven. Raven made its way into WARNO, and this thing is insane with 60% ECM. Look at that. 1500 kilometers per hour. And it has seed missiles that fire at 5 kilometers. That is going to outrange any AA piece, basically. That is nuts. And at veteran experience, 81% accuracy. That's crazy. Now, another new plane, and that looks beautiful, is the F-16. Look at that, dude. That looks so nice. Doesn't that look nice? There's just something about the F-16. But let's see what this guy has. It has 2 cluster bombs, so not, you know, the heaviest payload, but it is a fast plane. 1200 kilometers per hour, 30% ECM, so could be a really good bomber. You could get in and get out really, really quickly. It drops him at 1700, you know, has 9 top attack, or 9 AP that is going to enter the tank from the top. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see how this plays. We have the classic A10 with HE, so 8 Mark 82s, and we have the Maverick version as well. We also get F-16C Fighting Falcon, so the ASF version with 2 Sparrows at almost 8 kilometers range and 6 AP, not too bad, and 2 AIM-9Ms with 4.2 kilometers range and 5 HE. So all in all, actually not a bad fighter. Last but not least, we have a beast of an F-111 here. And this reminds me of War Games F-111 when it first came out. 12 Mark 82s. That is a carpet bomb and a half. We're gonna have to test this out. So if you do want to see me play around with the F-111F or any other new units, please do stick around and subscribe to the channel. And once again, a huge shout out to the patrons of the channel, and I'll see you guys back soon. Take care.